Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? Good morning, Blue Mermaid, and welcome to the channel membership. Gazap, good morning. Deb, Tammy, good morning to everyone. I hope we are all doing well. Gotta remember to turn my phone on silent. Sorry. Good morning, Hope. I hope you are doing well. Yellow Lemons, good morning. Elaine, Carla, Cheryl, good morning. Good morning, Miss Jagger. Jagger, Soccer Mom of One. Good morning. Pamela, good morning. Miss Wee Lassie. It's Scotland, UK calling in. Hope you're feeling tons better. I am. Yesterday and today, when I woke up, this is probably the best I've felt in probably a month, at least a month. I haven't felt this good in a while. It's remarkably better. I wouldn't say that I'm having any side effects right now. I don't necessarily. I feel okay. I'm a little bummed about still being on this quarantine. Everybody having to stay at home. I want to get out and do things. Good morning, Teddy Rose. Tree Baby Tennessee. Good morning. Carolyn K. HBO Now, which is free running. Oh, Carolyn K. Well, good morning anyways, Carolyn K. Deb Gilligan. So happy and excited you're feeling better. That is wonderful news. It's great news for all of us. My wife is actually really happy that I finally turned a corner in this to the point where I'm feeling. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm 100%. I think it's more psychological because of all this. I'm not used to being on lockdown, and I've been on lockdown now pretty much in my home for quite a while, and it's just not something I'm used to. But she's happy that I'm doing better because she was really worried about me there for quite a bit, and I don't like to see her worried. We are still quarantined in the UK. Yeah. Our state here. I live in Washington State, and we're under quarantine until May 4th, but that's most likely going to get extended by our governor. There's been some rustle with the different county commissioners in different parts of the state who want to open up for business, and and people are having rallies, and they're holding up signs that say, sacrifice the weak to protect the economy. And anybody who ever does something like that can, burn in hell, basically, because you're willing to sacrifice someone over the almighty dollar. I mean, I don't remember that anywhere in the Bible where God said, you know what, we should sacrifice people to make sure that we all have more of our riches. I don't remember that anywhere, and it was in there somewhere. It's got to be in there somewhere, right? Because these people call themselves Christians, but they're willing to sacrifice their grandparents or somebody, for the economy. I don't understand it, but that's just my own personal view. Let's see here. Yes, I'm happy and excited. You're better. That's wonderful news. Thank you. Um, Yellow Lemons, glad you're feeling good today. So am I. Thank you for caring. Miss Wee Lassie, that's good to hear. Will little and often is all you should do for quite a while yet. Yeah. Good morning, Irish Eyes. Um, Heidi Diego. Hello from Bakersfield, California. Well, welcome to the stream, Heidi. I'm glad you could be here with us. Elaine Williams, will you get the COVID-19 vaccine when it's made? I don't know much about it, about the vaccine if they make it and when if it ever is released. I don't know if I can get it. Is there any kind of medical protocol for if you've had it? Can you get it? Can you get the shot? I don't know. I'd have to wait until it actually is made, and then I'd have to see what the side effects and everything else are, and if somebody who's already had it, can they have it? Because I had the blood test done. I have the antibodies now, and apparently the Red Cross really really wants me to come donate blood now. So, because I tested for the positive for the antibodies. I'm sorry, I have to scroll up here, everybody. I kind of missed some of the stream here while I'm been yapping away. Let's see here. Atlantic child murders, very good. Carolyn K, the Atlantic child murders. You're talking about Williams down there. I think I did 1 or 2 videos on him. Mike Stevens, good morning. I didn't get to see what you said. I'm trying to scroll back up. I saw the name go fly by. Elaine Williams, I read that. Judy, good morning, Judy. I'm glad you could be here today. Happy you're better. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well yourself, Judy. You're so right, Will. That is a terrible statement. Yeah. Here in Michigan, ours was extended until May 15th. Oh. Elijah Fields, good morning, Will. Greetings from South Dakota. I miss the Dakotas. Oh, this really sucks about everything, because I'm not going to be able to make my trip back east, at least not when I normally would. Normally, I'd be getting ready, preparing for my trip in May, because normally every June I take off and I travel, and South Dakota. And so I go from up through the state, and I go Montana, a little bit of Idaho, into Montana. Then I go down in the Dakotas, and when I get into Montana, I usually watch minor league baseball, because that's my entire trip is not only to see friends, but to watch minor league baseball games across America. But I bounce back and forth between North and South Dakota, and then upper state of Minnesota. So I come in, at the upper part of Minnesota, and I go up into International Falls because I have family up there. And then I travel up and down Minnesota, and then into Wisconsin, and over to where our home is in Wisconsin there. But I'm not going to be able to do that, at least not in June. I got to wait for everything, quarantines to expire and this virus to be gone. Hopefully, maybe I'll get to do it in July. Don't know. But I hope you're staying well in the Dakotas. I hear the Dakotas haven't been hit very hard yet, and I hope they're not. I would be in that sacrifice group. It worries me a lot. Yeah, Blue Mermaid. I don't understand why anybody would ever say something like that. And the first couple times I heard someone say something like that, or have a sign that said something like that, I was like, maybe they're just not thinking through. When they're going to 5 or 6 funerals because their grandparents and their mother or their uncle or somebody died in their family, I bet they'd think a little bit differently about it. But I don't think that's people are really thinking it through. Teddy Rose, good morning. Tree Baby, Tennessee, hello, and glad you're better. Thank you. Happy you're excited you're better. That's wonderful news. Thank you, Deb. Appreciate it. Catherine Maloney, hello from Ireland. Hello, Catherine. Good morning, or is it evening there? I'm getting used to these time zones. At least trying to figure it out, because later today, me and Miss Murder are doing a live stream at 4 o'clock my time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time, whatever. And we had to figure it out by time zone. It's like, so it's got 4 o'clock here is midnight in the UK. And it's like the next day in the morning, 9 a.m. her time. So I'm doing it Saturday, so it'll be Sunday, 9 a.m. her time. That's today at 4 o'clock my time here in the U.S. So figure if it's 4 o'clock on the West Coast, that'd be what, 7 o'clock, I think, or 6 o'clock North Dakota. I have to look at the U.S. time zones again. Miss Wee Lassie, those protesters would be screaming if blood if one of their relatives caught the virus, and people with their ridiculous, selfish attitudes. Yeah, totally agree with you there. Innocence Files is now running on Netflix. Murder Mountain on Netflix about marijuana farmers. Carolyn, I actually watched that Murder Mountain. That is some freaky. Oh wow, how many people have actually vanished who've shown up there from all over the world, apparently, to harvest marijuana, and that they actually call it the Triangle area. They're in the mountains to harvest marijuana and just disappeared. People just don't know where they went. Gone. I watched it. That's actually a pretty good show, Murder Mountain. Humboldt County, California. Yep. The virus isn't going away anytime. No, because that, unfortunately, it's not. Me and my wife were watching a news release the other night on, I think it was on MSN, NBC. I'm not, but don't quote me on that. But it was a special on the coronavirus. And they found mutations of the actual virus now. It has shown up. It's definitely in Vietnam, India, and there may be 4 possible cases. And one of them is in either New Jersey or New York. And if this mutation that they've seen in Vietnam and India is actually affecting those under the age of 50 and a greater number, and they've seen a larger mortality rate with it. But there's only a very small sample size, and they're not sure how widespread it is. But those are the positive cases: Vietnam, India, and I can't remember where the other place was. But they've actually found a mutation of it. But we knew it was going to happen. Every virus mutates. One donation of blood has enough antibodies to share amongst 3 other people. Yeah, I read something to the like that on in the email that I got from the Red Cross. But they really want me to come down and do it. Thypoid morning, Saturday with the beer and sunshine in the UK. Sounds like a great morning. Sweden's approach is interesting. I'm not familiar with Sweden's approach, Pamela. I read a little bit about how they're treating this in other parts of the country where they basically just say, okay, you got it, so we're going to put you on lockdown, as opposed to locking down the entire country. I'm slowly scrolling back down through. Innocence Files is running on Netflix. Yeah, I didn't catch that one though. Mount Rushmore will possibly be open. They're still having their fireworks display this year. That's cool, Election Fields. I've never actually seen a fireworks display there. And in all the times that I've been to Mount Rushmore in that area, I think I've seen Mount Rushmore a total of maybe 3 times. I'm not one of the, I'm not big into like very tourist attractions. I mean, I've gone and seen some of the caves of like prehistoric paintings and carvings, and stuff like that. And Mount Rushmore, obviously, and it's one of the great wonders of the world, I guess you could say. But I haven't. I don't stop and see a lot of that stuff. See, Mike Stevens, I swear the coronavirus in February. I had the coronavirus in February. Ooh, I was feverish and body aches for a month. Does it sound like coronavirus, Mike Stevens? Did you have it with a high fever? Because that's what a lot of people, not necessarily me. I mean, I didn't really check, my fever when I first started feeling ill. It was, I think it was probably about 3 or 4 days later. But when I first started to feel the ill side effects of it, it wasn't body aches, it was a sore throat, and then it was absolutely wiped out. I had no energy to do anything, and it was just like I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on with me. And it was kind of worrisome because I had no energy, and then I started feeling like this it's really hard to explain, but it's kind of like a deep congestion in my chest, like a giant weight was being pressed against me, and I just couldn't catch my breath. And then, the fever and everything else was probably going along at the same time. I just wasn't checking it. But if you had high fever along with it, you probably did have it. They can do the antibody test. I think I saw something online where they actually do just a pinprick of your fingernail and test your blood, and they can see if you have the antibodies. But for me, I went to the hospital and they actually drew a little tubey thing about that big, full of blood on me. Diana, it is 11 in Massachusetts right now. Colleen Ellis, good morning at 10 a.m. there. 16:08 in the UK, so it'd be what, 4:08. Are you guys past the date line? I'm not good. Raja, crazy. It's never going away. It's a virus, which means no cure. You cannot cure a virus. You can only cure infection. That's what the government won't tell you. It's true. You have to build up an immunity to, your body has to fight it off. And viruses have been around since humans have been walking the earth, and probably before then, from what I understand. Let's see here. Faithful One, good morning. Kathy Griffin, good morning. Shadok, at 50. This is the first time in my life I've been eligible for unemployment. Start collecting on Monday. In case you're not up to date on this, I'll tell you a little bit about my situation. So I was exposed with the coronavirus at work originally the first time by someone who was a temporary employee. That person left. We found out later on that they had it. Okay, so they put us all on a 2-week furlough, and we were supposed to go back the 29th. The 29th, we go back, for those who were able to, went back, and then we received the information that the company that we were working for is no longer going to be in operation. They are suspending all U.S. operations in the field that we work in. So we don't have a job. there's no job. So file for unemployment, we all do, and some people transfer to other companies, but not everybody, lost their job completely. But there was quite a few of us. It's like 11,000 of us who lost their job on that Monday. File for unemployment. The system was so clogged. Every time I was on it and trying to file, it just kept on kicking me out. And then we tried and tried and tried. And I was talking to a couple, former coworkers, somewhat friends of mine, more of acquaintances who I keep in contact with on Facebook. And they're telling me they still can't get in today to file. But the state says, well, we're going to retroactively make your actual date this date when you could have filed originally, because you can't get into the system to actually complete the paperwork online. Normally you could go into an unemployment office here and file it, but they're all closed. You can't go in. You have to do everything online. It's a mess. And we're one of the states where we're supposed to get that $600 additional unemployment. Now, our state isn't going to start that until, I think they said, the 29th of this month. So 4 more days, and then they're going to start it. They still haven't started it for anybody who's been unemployed all this time. It's just crazy. Finally learned it, and just how overwhelmed the system is. Good morning, Kathy. Mods, chats, and everybody else. How you doing, Kathy Griffith? Still going out. People in South Carolina don't give a oh, wow. Sorry, Pamela. Poor souls in India can't afford to stop working. Now, and where you're going to see, if we get the real information. Wow, I have really missed a lot of chat here. I'm trying to keep up here. Gemini Star, good morning. K Love, good morning. Dardine Creek, good morning. I read that Disneyland and other amusement parks are considering staying closed until 2021. Wow. Well, thank you. Diane, I have the BRH factor. I want her help me if I caught it. It's rare. It's rare. You have a rare BRH factor. It is a rare blood type. I'm not familiar with what rare blood types are or not, but I mean, I'll take that as it is. I mean, I don't know anything about blood. My wife knows all about all that stuff. Gemini Star, welcome from Ireland again. Sorry, I just seen your other comment here. Now, I'm going to have to keep this instead of tracking back up through this everything. I'm sorry, anybody that I missed. And Chrissy, good morning. I did see your comment. I was trying to scroll through there. Is back down. Sorry I missed your comment, but I hope you're doing well, Chrissy. I've yet to get any unemployment. Yeah. Same here. I haven't gotten any either. I'm supposed to, I think Monday is supposed to be the first date. So I don't know how they're going to work that. If they're going to pay me my unemployment on Monday, and then on the 29th, give me the federal stimulus 600, because I don't qualify for the 1,200 per. My wife got the 1,200 and the 500 for our son for the federal stimulus that way, but I don't qualify for it. But I supposedly I do qualify for the unemployment 600 additional, but we'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath for it. I've never qualified for any of the stimulus packages that they've ever done. Like I think they did what, 2 rounds before, with other presidents, but I never qualified for those ones either. Hope Powell, hello to everyone in the chat. Much love and many blessings. I hope you're staying well. In high spirits, Hope Powell. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah. So same here. Jen Slate, good morning. How are you doing, Jen? People are getting paid on furlough and mortgage holiday. We just got something in the mail about that from our mortgage company that said that we qualify for some program where they will suspend our mortgage for 6 months or something like that. They sent us a letter asking us if we wanted to apply for it. I'm like, I mean, I can understand why you would want to, especially with what's going on in this world, with people being, unemployed and not being able to work. I mean, it may come in benefit, but I mean, I have to, before I'd ever apply for something like that, I want to know, how is it going to affect my credit rating, number one, because I certainly don't want to, have the bank say, you know what, you can not pay your mortgage payments for 6 months, and then find out that, they had some kind of glitch in the system where they reported that I wasn't making my mortgage payments to the credit bureaus, and I watched my credit rating go down, because there's got to be something in it for the bank. There's either got to be a fee, there's got to be something in it for them. In my experience in my life, and you guys may not like this, and I'm sorry if from what I'm about to say, if you work in the banking or loan or lending or whatever. In my experience in my life, I've never seen a bank do anything in their history that has been beneficial to the actual people who bank for them. They may offer you services that look great on the upside. Banks make more money in overdraft fees and stuff like that, and hurting and punishing people who are poor, than they ever will doing anything good. That's just and it doesn't matter what bank you bank with. I've banked with a lot of banks over the years. French Kisses, Blue French Bulldogs, Alberta. Hi, Inner Peas. And hello, Inner Peas. The stimulus money is the money we got from the government. I missed one. I managed to get 3 months mortgage holiday, but it won't be long enough. I'm sorry about that, Irish Eyes. Yeah, I'm really leery about the program they sent it, especially since it was an unsolicited offer. I mean, I didn't ask the bank for it. The bank just sent us this paperwork and said, go ahead and apply for this. But there's no terms or conditions or anything in there. And the way that the letter and all the follow paperwork, that was involved with it is worded, it's like that nowhere in there do they answer any of the questions that I had. So I'm leery of it, to say the least. My medical facility is planning on opening back up next weekend, and I really don't think it's a good idea, just from my experience with illness and the outcome here already. Oh, well, I hope you stay safe, Chrissy. I hope you can stay safe. Cement Shoes, good morning. You forgot it was Saturday? Well, yeah, it's Saturday, Cement Shoes. Definitely Saturday. Really getting down to the nitty gritty. I really want to go back to work. This is my work right here. This is what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. I could apply to go back with another company who is taking over, the contract for where my work, but I'm in a position in life where I don't really necessarily have to right away, and this is what I'm going to do. And it's not like it's not like the company that took over the contract is going to be going back to work anytime soon. They are not anywhere near essential. When you work for the government as a subcontractor, you're not an essential employee. Canadian government has given us 4,000 already and 2 more on May 1st. Wow. I'm glad the government's taking care of their citizens up there, French kisses. That's nice to hear. I guess Justin Trudeau is the man, and it was probably had something to do with it, right? Love the solitude. Kevin, my cat, beer and bread. It's a good combination. Martha Dickinson, good morning. Misty Waters, good morning. My cat loves me being home. Your cat loves you being home all day. I can't find my cat. He's around somewhere. He's being kind of an a-hole this morning. Normally he's in here with me, but when I got ready this morning, he was nowhere to be found. He might be upstairs sleeping in one of the rooms. I didn't go look for him all that much because I was like, well, fine. You don't want to get up and go with me, right? I'll just do it myself. I'll remember that later on when he wants his head scratched. You guys are already spreading fertilizer, Elijah Fields? Some people, not the people who built the country. Oh. North Carolina, we are ready to go back to work. People are suffering. Kathy, people are suffering everywhere. And I understand people wanting to get back to work. I mean, but doing it at the expense of other people, I don't know. It's just hard to believe that that anybody would want to do that. I'm going slightly insane being stuck indoors all the time. I'm not even allowed out for a walk. Oh, I'm sorry, Blue Mermaid. I live in the country, lots to do here on the farm. Isolation doesn't bother me. Elijah Fields, it's not that the isolation necessarily, bothers me either. It's and it probably wouldn't bother me if I was back home on our family farm either. I mean, when you talk about things to do, I mean, we would get up before daybreak, and we started, and we didn't stop until the sun set. And then sometimes there was always other things that had to be done, things that had to be fixed or whatever, and maintenance that had to be done. But here, with my life the way it is now, I mean, I had a pretty much a routine, but all that's just gone out the window, routine wise, and everything that I enjoy doing, I can't do because everything is closed. But I understand exactly what your point is there. Good morning, Soul. Good morning, Tammy. Got a bunch of geese that just flew over. You hear them. Your whole family needs a haircut. I got my wife to trim mine up. It was driving me nuts. I still need a whole, a haircut, but after a while, my hair does this, and starts to get wings, I guess you could call it. It looked really bad. Stay home for months at a time when the pups are born, so it doesn't bother me staying home. That's good. As long as you have stuff to do at home, I guess. Quarantine. Where'd it go? To be honest, I'd rather be in quarantine than get this nasty virus. Oh, that's true. It's not fun. Not fun at all. Stressful with the kids home. That's been something that's been, it's been like a kind of a godsend. Is they cancel school for the rest of the year, and they're hoping to go back in fall for school for my son. But the teacher and her TAs have put together a lesson plan. So each week they have a lesson and a book to read. That they've been going through this class dojo and giving us. So this week, my son and I are reading the alphabet book, and they have it online, so you can read it on a tablet or a cell phone or whatever. And then I'm having him practice writing the letter B, capital B, and lowercase b's. So A was last week. This is B this week. C, and then we're counting buttons within the book and identifying colors and shapes. He really loves colors, identifying colors and counting. So at least he's getting some some education. We're trying to keep the growth going, as opposed to since there's no school. Well, I hope you lift up your spirits, Chrissy. We're always praying for you. Angel eyes. I am. I am feeling a lot better. Thank you. I'm doing dojo with my 6-year-old grandson. That's it. I love this dojo thing, especially since the teacher has been she's been so informative of like telling us not only about that and they have a school lunch program that they started, so they can stop by and pick up a bag lunch at the school, or if they rode the school bus, where they would pick the school bus would pick them up. They bring them sack lunches, and they're also doing weekend bag lunches for students who need food for over the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. So it gives them 2 meals for each day. So and that's great. And then our friend with Friendship Kitchen is doing the same thing. We're seeing a lot of community, come together to take care of it, especially the children and the seniors out there. Which is we have Meals on Wheels, which delivers hot meals to seniors, and we've seen a huge expansion in that, where people are not only delivering Meals on Wheels, but they're also able to go and visit with seniors. But for social distancing purposes, the senior sits on one side of like maybe a screen door, and they sit on the outside on a porch, and they just talk with them. We've seen a huge expansion of that, which is really good. It's really great to see at least to hear our community coming together. And the dojo and the school districts have been doing this thing for the kids for the school lunches. Hi, Tracy S. You don't mind the social distancing? I just never thought I'd be spending my 37th birthday quarantine with 2-year-old twins. Do have Seinfeld though to entertain you. That's cool. Um, if you like Jerry Seinfeld, he does a show on YouTube as well. Um, it's Seinfeld Cars and Coffee or Writing. It's something like that. But you can search Seinfeld up on YouTube, where he does. Him and a celebrity will drive around in a car, and they go out for coffee and they talk. But trapped at home with two-year-olds. Excuse me. Pray for you. I got a 3-year-old in the house, and he wears me out. I don't know about two-year-olds. That'd wear me out pretty quick. But I'm sure it's been a heck of a lot of fun, though. So it's so interesting to watch them grow and develop at that age. Sorry, didn't mean to. Every time I move my foot underneath the table, I keep on bumping the camera. Chrissy, there's no reason to apologize. We're all here. We're all friends here. Whatever comes to mind, we're here for you. Talk about it. That's why we're here. There's never any reason to apologize, Chrissy. The show Ozark. I had a friend who actually recommended that I start watching it. I haven't seen any of it yet. But who knows? I've seen more TV in the last month than I've watched in the last 3 years prior. And Tracy, I was going to also say happy birthday, Tracy. I hope that next year on your 38th birthday, you'll get to go out and do something. But in the meantime, enjoy your time with your two-year-olds, okay? Just remember, they love mommy. And they want to be with mommy. So, faithful one, my oldest that thing went by really quick. My oldest grandson turns 13 yesterday. Quarantine sucks when it's a special occasion. Well, it does. My daughter's turned 22, and she had to spend her 22nd birthday at work. They did 16 days straight without a day off, and then they got 4 days off. but the 4 days that she got off for her came after her 22nd birthday. Gas prices really went down here in South Dakota. Yeah. Well, we haven't seen gas prices drop that drastically here. Then again, we pay the highest state tax on top of gasoline. I wish I had one of those above ground tanks to store gas in, diesel. Like you guys probably have there on the farm election fields for refilling your tractors or whatever you guys need it for. But we used to have a whole bunch of them, but just about everybody got rid of them. And I had one at my old house, but we sold it and I left it behind. I'm kicking myself in the ass for that one now. But it was a 100-gallon above ground tank that we stored fuel in and diesel in. Diesel prices have dropped to the point where it's really beneficial for something like that now. But I don't have any place to store it except for in gas cans. And I have filled up every gas can that I have. And the stores are sold out of gas cans, so you can't get them. I tried ordering them on Amazon, and I think the May 16th is when I ordered 3 of them, and they're not going to come in until May 16th. So by then, the gas prices will probably be jacked back up again. Price 10 got me a half a tank. Wow. It usually it's about $54 to fill my truck. But I haven't filled it up because we can't go anywhere. And every time you leave your house, you have to be going either to work or be with an essential employee. Otherwise, they have a hotline that they run on a scroller on all the local TV stations around here, where if you see somebody who's not an essential employee and you want to basically narc off your neighbor for going out and in the public, you can call that number that's on the scrolls at the bottom of the screen and report them. And it's talk about it's. I've had a couple of my neighbors question where I was going, especially last weekend. Last weekend I just had to get away, so I just filled up my truck and I just drove. I just drove around. I mean, I drove to another city that's about 70 miles away. Just drove around, just because I hadn't been there in a while. Drove around. Then I went down by the river. There isn't any. We can't fish. We can't hunt. We can't do anything in the state. Now you can't even go fishing by yourself. They closed fishing. They closed all hunting, all outdoor activities completely. So I went down, looked at the river, and I'm like, there isn't a soul out here anywhere. And it's usually busy. It's all on the weekends. It's usually you see boats up and down the river, or someone out on kayak or paddleboard or something. Nope, no one. Oh, Deb does reading. Good morning, Deb. You have an 8 p.m. curfew there? We don't have a curfew. I wish they did because, well, we have a local coffee shop that's about quarter mile from me. Some kids broke into it. This lady only owns, she owns 2 little coffee stands, and the kids broke into her coffee stand and smashed out her window, and they stole a couple $100 in a cash register from her, or they damaged the cash register. I've never even been to that coffee shop, and now I'm going to. I'm going to go there just after this stream. But yeah, I guess it happened at like 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Who the hell lets their 16-year-old kids out at that hour? Well, at least that's what the eyewitness and the Ring doorbell footage showed, that there were 16-year-olds, or they looked about that age. Angel Eyes, is your birthday coming up? I'm missing a lot of comments, and I'm sorry. I'm going for a drive later today. Going to go check out some abandoned county cemeteries that date back to the late 1800s. So I found this YouTube channel. It's not true crime related, so you guys might want to pass this on. And Elijah Fields might like this, and if anybody that's in Minnesota might like this as well. It's called Vice Grip Garage, and this guy was born in I believe North Dakota, but I could be wrong, could be South Dakota. But he lives in just outside the Twin Cities area, and it's it's kind of like a car show. He buys these junkers and tries to fix them up or drive them home. And it uses a lot of language that is and sayings that are are from the Minnesota area and Dakotas, like, yeah, you betcha. We have 17 birthdays in our family in June. My birthday's in June. Linda, welcome, Linda. Oh my God, spell check sucks. I don't know why the word that's become uppercase. I don't know either. It happens to me. I have Grammarly on just about every device because nobody wants to read anything that I have to say. If I don't use Grammarly. $17, that's a lot. No, yeah, you're right. Bye, Angel Eyes. You stay safe out there. Yeah, betcha. Yeah, Hope Powell's is June 22nd. Anyone want it? You'll be 59. Hope Powell. Well, June 22nd is it's a good day. It makes you a Gemini. I'm not sure where the cutoff line is there, but pretty sure it's a Gemini. Hibiscus Ivy is June 14th. French Kisses is June 21st. Well, we got a lot of Geminis in here. Chrissy's is June 21st as well. Mine's the 19th. 19th of June. Ooh, yeah. Interp is June 29th. It's just a number. Hope Powell. You choose to say I'm 23. My mother-in-law says she does whenever anybody asks her how old she is, she goes, well, I was 18 when your wife was born, and what year is it now? And that's as far as she ever answers. My son that passed was June 19th. Sorry about that, Hibiscus. Daughter will be 20 on June 28th. Don't know where the time has gone. Tell me about it. My daughter just had her birthday a week ago, and she's 22. 22 years old. I'm like, mind blowing. Where did the years go there? And and then we have me and this is the same wife. It's not like I had a child and then went on and had children with somebody else. Me and my wife, same wife. We have a 22-year-old and we have a 3-year-old. Your son is June 9th. Granddaughter's the 29th of June. My Nana lied about her age for so long she became younger than her little sister. We still don't know how old she was. That's funny, Inner. That's a huge gap. Yeah. Yeah, well, that happens. Um, we weren't supposed to have any more children. The doctor told us after my daughter was born, the chances of my wife ever having a second child was next to none. And we just got used to it. It's just life. We went on with our lives. We were happy, where we were. And then my wife got cancer. And then we battled through that for about 5 years and of cancer treatment and everything else, and radiation and chemotherapy. And the chemotherapy, they thought that she was supposed to have a hysterectomy, but they couldn't do the hysterectomy because she had a fever. And then, that delayed that. And in between the fever going away and her going back to get the blood work and everything done before she was, to go in for surgery, they came in, they said, we can't do it now. And we're like, great, fever's back, cancer's back, what is it? And they're like, no, you're pregnant. So we have a 3-year-old. So, and we're a firm believer in that God has only given us what we can handle. And at points in our lives, when things have been tough and we didn't have two nickels to rub together, and it felt like that, we had more than we could handle. We made it through it. And then when everything was and the worst point of our lives, together or as individuals, we made it through it with faith and love and compassion. He said, here's a child. So we're going to do it all over again. Faith, Will. Taco was meant to be. He was meant to be. Jack Benny. He was a hell of a musician. I love the big band swing. Hope that's the same Jack Benny we're talking about. I didn't catch the rest of it. I've always been a big fan of Dizzy Gillespie. It is a good theory. Yeah. Every day above ground is a good day. Do they keep you young? I don't know about that, faithful one, because I feel like an old man a lot of times trying to keep up with my son. That's the one thing that really sucks about this. I mean, besides the fact of almost, from getting the coronavirus and then getting through that, I can, let's just, put that aside. But, my son doesn't get to see his friends. We try to keep up with them on Zoom. We have with the Zoom app, so he can see his friends. But I mean, that they just sit there and stare at each other on the Zoom app. It's like they don't. I don't think they understand how it works. But it's like everything is like, and when they watch something, it's a video. They can interact with some videos, but when they put them on, we put their friends on Zoom. They just sit there and stare at each other, and or they'll point at and go, William, William, like looking. His friend Devin will look over at his parents and be pointing at the screen. William. It's kind of cute though. Twins are a boy and a girl. Boy created first base off of gestational growth, but my daughter was born first, and it's wild. Mm. It does sound wild. Looking at the numbers. He trapped you, Tracy? I need to skate out of here. Take care, everyone. Bye, Elijah Fields. You take care. Stay safe out there. Tracy, my cousins are fraternal and complete opposites in everything: looks, personality, both boys. I don't know if there's any twins in my family at all. There might be like a niece or a nephew or someone, that has a set of twins, but I don't think there are any. I don't know. Deb does readings. She says boys are easier. My one girl is high maintenance. LOL. My poor bank account. Um, let's see. For my daughter, raising her, I mean, it wasn't that hard. Um, she wasn't. She didn't really. She was never into like really, like high end like items. She didn't really want the newest fashions and stuff like that. She had her own kind of style, I guess you could say, but it was not tomboyish, but it was girly, but it's kind of hard to describe it. But my son, uh, where does that boy put the food? I mean, I feed him, and 5 seconds later, he wants more. I'm like, how can you possibly? You're only 3 years old. I mean, and he's. I'm gonna go poor just feeding the kid. My daughter, she's always been kind of a finicky eater, but not my son. No, he eats everything. My father was the last boy in my family until my son came along, so that's a long time. Father was born in 1954 and twins in 2017. Father isn't here anymore since 1996. I think of it as his gift. I'm sorry about your father's losing your father there, Tracy. My father passed away in 1981. Next boy that was born was my sister's son. Oh, there's been a lot of boys. It's kind of weird because it flip flops. My mother was the only girl. She had four brothers. And then I'm the only boy, and I have four sisters. And then my other sister, next to me in age, she has one girl, all boys. It just, then my of course my sister, had to change it up. She has children with two different baby daddies, and both of them are losers. But that's her choices in life. But she has boys, a mix of boys and girls. Good morning, Kevin. Boys are easier than girls. He's growing. That's way he's always hungry. I don't know, Diane. I don't know where he puts the food though. And growing, yeah. Yep, I'm gonna have to go buy all new clothes because yesterday I was getting him ready so we could go outside and play. Well, I was doing some yard work while he was playing, and then he decided that he wanted to be Daddy's big helper. But I went to go get him dressed, and I'm like, "These pants fit you last week. Now they don't." And it's not like he grew in waist and diameter. Lengthwise, his legs grew. I'm like, they fit last week. I know I put these on you last week. You adore seeing twins, soul? Your dad, cement shoes, your dad is 82 with lung cancer. Oh, I'm sorry. And trying to take my parents' house, and they're trying to take your parents' house. So I've given every cent I can, thousands, but I'm struggling. I am sorry about that, cement shoes. You think there'd be some kind of government, program or something that could stop that? My food bill since quarantine, I got 4 kids, went from $200 to $450 a week. Ooh, wow. Damn. I'm sorry about that, Deb. I've seen my daughter 3, maybe 4 times in the last month. And that's it. She doesn't live here. She has her own room here, but I don't see her that much. She's always either working or well, working. She works 16 days, without a day off, and she didn't come home. At least I didn't see her. My son, we our food budget per month. I mean, I can a lot. It's just something I was raised to do. It's like we grow a crop during the summertime, even here. I'll grow and tomatoes. Now I'll make tomato sauces and I'll can them whole. Beets, carrots, potatoes, and I preserve them all, and then and I put them in the pantry, so that helps our food budget a lot. But man, 450 a week. Wow. I'd go broke in a heartbeat doing that. They eat nonstop now. I'm praying for your cement shoes. I really hope that that there's something that can be done to help you. You should shop at thrift shops while he's growing so fast. Yeah, well, but I can't do that, Linda. They're all closed. So here locally, we have Goodwill, we have Salvation Army, then we have Christian Family Outreach, and then we have Community Thrift. We have stores like those, all closed. And most of them are not going to be reopening anytime soon. I know, like, where our local Goodwill stores, because a lot of the people who they employ are susceptible to, especially a virus like this. They're not going to be opening anytime soon, and they only have like maybe 3 or 4 employees total that they could have in the store, so they're closed. All the Catholic services, shops and thrift stores and stuff like that, even their coffee shop is closed. They don't have a drive-through, but they have a walk-in service. It's actually in the actual church itself, but you can't even go get a cup of coffee. But I want to. Oh, I want to. And I've been checking like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and nothing. There ain't nothing out there. I thought people would be getting broke or something, and they want to get rid of this stuff. They're home, clean the house, get rid of things. Nope. Marketplace is pretty much dried up, except for a bunch of people selling tools or cars or broken motorcycles. A lot of that on the marketplace. TVs that don't work. I don't know what the hell people would want a non-working TV for, but they're selling them. Thank you, Andrew. You're a very sweet couple, and I appreciate you. I'm sending the prayers to support as well. In my area, they restricted Walmart to just food. Uh, Deb, here, the Walmart, they're only allowing 20 people in the store at a time, plus the employees. So they have a line outside. People come out, people go in. People come out, people go in. You're restricting how many people actually are in the store at one time. And if you go in, you have to wear a mask, and they hand you a pair of disposable latex gloves. We cut our long pants off or shorts when we went out growing. We didn't try keeping up with the Joneses, the good old days. Yeah, pretty much here, Hope. That's all, and that we handed them down to, or my mom back then, the other mothers in the neighborhood and friends, they would, like, hey, look, I've got these, and they would be able to trade them, with others. Me and my wife don't know anyone at all with children who are younger than my son or the same age. All of our friends all have children that are the same age as my daughter. They're all their children are in their 20s. And either they went away to college and now they're back because the colleges are closed, or their children have gone on and they're in the military service, or they're somewhere. We're the only ones with the child our age, because we have so much stuff that we've been trying to give away. Baby bottles, diapers, formula, wet wipes, all kinds of stuff that we don't need anymore. Bags, bassinet, changing table, a crib. We have all this stuff, and we're like, we don't need this stuff anymore, and we can't find anybody that wants it. So I offered up, like, the stroller on this website. It's called Offer Up. And I said, it was a brand new, well, it was not brand new, but it's fairly, new, Graco stroller, and it's got the car seat thing that snaps into it, and then you have the base that you keep in your car, so it just snaps into the base. I was on there for 3 weeks. The problem is everybody's broke. Now I'm just trying to give the stuff away, but we found some places, some Catholic charities that come pick it up, as long as we left it on our front porch and they didn't have any contact with anyone. They came and got it all. Well, most of it. They didn't take all of it. You don't have clothes from your other kids? Well, we only have two. If you're talking to me, I'm not sure who you're talking to. Sister's prissy clothes. Different place to place. Sam? Good morning, Sam. And welcome from the UK. Yep. I am doing a live with Miss Murder. So if you're in the UK, that would be midnight in the UK. It's 4:00 my time here on the west coast of the United States, and it's 9 a.m. Sunday morning in Australia. What is live? I rarely get notifications. Where did it go? K Love. What time? Oh, cement shoes. What time zone are you in? Yeah. Well, it's midnight. I know Irish Eyes. I know it's going to be midnight in the UK because I actually put it into the thing because we were going back and forth, me and Miss Murder, about what time to do it because she's past the actual date line. So we're like, well, trying to figure out the time difference, and we're like, I don't know how we're going to make it work for everybody in the world. So we finally just settled on one time that's going to work for her on her end and will work for me on my end. So it turns out 9 a.m. Sunday morning for her in Australia, but it's midnight in the UK and it's 4 p.m. here on the West Coast. Good morning. Sam, it's 1712 there. So 512. $5 roughly, UK and the US. I know between me and well, Miss 'In 2 weeks, Deb, in 2 weeks, my son can destroy just about every piece of clothing he owns. Don't listen to him, Deb. Soul is 512 there. Irish Eyes? No, I'm not off them completely. I'm just smoking a hell of a lot less. I gotta get my breath back. Gotta get some kind of lung capacity working, and I mean, obviously, smoking, is killing me slowly, but nothing will make you realize just how much you really don't need it until you can't breathe at all. Yeah, they're nutty people everywhere. No negative comments here, please. Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. This right now, this morning live stream, this is the 59th. Yeah, 59th Saturday morning live stream that I've done. Just Saturday mornings. Overall, it's like the 74th live stream. But 59 of them, and so I don't know how many months that is. 63, right? I've only missed two continuously. Two of them in there Saturday mornings, or is it 89th? I should know this off the top of my head before I start talking. Do 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 do. My bad. This is the 89th. This is the 89th Saturday morning stream. Michelle went fishing a couple of days ago and got a bucket of bullheads. Not sure what bullheads are, but that's cool. I haven't been fishing in a while. We can't go fishing or hunting here, which totally defies all logic to me. Because me and my friends were talking about it, and we're like, when do we go fishing and stand right next to somebody? Unless you want a fish hook in you. I mean, how close are you going to stand next to somebody? So the governor said, well, you have to go fill up with gas. Well, I go fill up with gas anyways to go to the river. And he's like, well, you have to get in a boat. And I'm like, how small of a boat do you think I'm going in? You think I'm going in a bathtub? I mean, if I'm in the front and my friend's in the back, there's what, 12 feet between the two of us, and we're supposed to be 6 feet apart. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. I mean, of all the things you can ban outdoors, hunting and fishing. And when I go hunting, and I don't know a single person that goes hunting who is right next to somebody else, unless you're maybe bird hunting and you're in a blind. But it's not bird season, at least not here. Oh, bottom feeders. So, like a catfish. Do you enjoy fishing well? Your late husband really loved to go fishing. I Blue Mermaid. I love fishing back home, not so much here. the The only place to go fishing around here is um, where you have to fish on a river. I'm not much of a river fisherman. Back home I could go sit out on the dock, put my lawn chair out and just throw the line out, and if I caught something, I caught something. If I didn't, I didn't. Well, I would like to apologize to the community for my actions. If I could take back what I said, of course I would. I would do whatever I can to regain the trust and love of the community that provides. I don't know what you said, but thank you. Uh, did somebody time you out or delete your messages? I didn't see it. I'm sorry, but I appreciate the apology anyways. Excuse me. Idiots 101 is mine. As yours. The Michigan governor has lost her mind on her executive orders. I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, sure, all right, stay home. Okay, it was horrific. I still didn't see it. Sorry, um, but I don't understand it. I wish it made sense to me. I mean, we have stay home, sure. Distance yourselves, great. I get that when you're out. But what the hell does fishing and hunting have to do with anything? We're the only state that closed all hunting and fishing, and and we're now talking about shell fishing, regular fishing, hunting, trapping, all that's closed. We're the only state that did it, and unless you are of Native American ancestry, you can go hunt and fish all you want. And you can pile 15 of your fellow Native, people who are part of who have the same ancestry, or maybe they're from the same tribe as you. You can pile 15 of them in your van and go, but you can't do it. You can't put more than 4 people in your car if you're taking them to the ER. Yeah, I don't understand it either. But it also, it does get us out of the house. But Michelle, but it gives people something to do where they're still having some kind of resemblance to what maybe they would have done. Oh, Blue Mermaid, immensely in the beginning. Did I struggle with fatigue? Yes. Oh, that was probably like the one of the first symptoms that I had was I had no energy to do anything at all. It didn't matter what I did. I mean, just trying to get from my bedroom to the couch, and I couldn't walk up the stairs without having to stop several times just to wait, to catch my breath, to it just felt like I had no energy to do anything at all. That was like one of the first symptoms that came on. Then the sore throat and the coughing, and like I was saying earlier, that I probably had a fever the entire time, but I wasn't checking it until my wife, she was like, "What the hell's going on with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I'm not one to complain about, and I guess it's, some people chalk it up as well as, men being stupid or, but I don't complain about, if I'm injured or, I'm not feeling well, I'm not one to speak up. I keep it to myself. But one magical girl, Colorado closed hunting and fishing, and not true. I'm a Native American and I'm being denied my right to hunt and fish. I'm sorry about that in Colorado, one magical girl. I live in Washington State. And Washington State made an exemption as part of the governor's order to allow everyone who has membership in one of the Native American tribes here in our state to allow them to hunt, fish, and not just fish for fish, but also to do clamming and oysters, and offshore and inshore as well. But I'm sorry that that is happening to you in Colorado. Um, I will call my sister in Greeley tomorrow, and I will ask her why she's out fishing with her daughter, who I just got done Skyping with last night. So maybe people are there or are not taking the governor's order in Colorado as seriously as they should, or people are just breaking the law anyways. I'm sure people are probably doing it here as well, fishing. But I know my sister and her family, they live outside the Greeley, area, are doing it. Maybe it's just one of those things where, like I said, that the governor passed the order, but people are not following it too closely. Kind of hard to follow an order, especially in Colorado like that. No hunting. There's so much of a vast area you could go, be going out and trapping and hunting in. But I'm sorry that they're invading, or trespassing on your rights. Sam, public. I don't know what that's in. That's got to be in reference to something that Sam is talking about. I'm trying to scroll up to see what it is. So I'm sorry to anybody that I'm missing the comments to. I'm trying to figure out what the reference to what Sam's talking about is. I start doing this, and I'm not paying attention to the chat. I'm sorry about that. Cement shoes is Cherokee. I didn't know that. I didn't know that cement shoes. Um, public versus private. I don't know what that's in reference to, Sam. And I didn't see. I scrolled up, and the only other comment I found was yes, pimp. I don't know. I'm probably missing it somewhere, but I don't understand what the reference to what you're talking about, aren't you, detective? So I'm going to have to move on. Objectively speaking, U.S. isn't quite as good as Turkey. Huh? USA isn't quite as good as Turkey, and that's a fact. A fact of I don't understand what you're objectively speaking about. Are are you talking about freedom of religion and expression, freedom of press, freedom of movement? There's a lot of things that you can objectively compare. Um, Reproductive rights, medical, occupation, education. What are you comparing Turkey versus all 50 states? I don't know. Or you as a country as a whole? That'd be open for debate. But thank you for the comment, though. I knew something was wrong with him the first time I saw him. I do not like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam. I am. That not Sam. I'm not saying it to Sam. I'm saying that is French kisses blue French bulldogs. Alberta said, "I knew something was wrong with him the first time I saw him. I do not like green eggs and ham." So the next line is Sam. I am. At least I believe it is. It's been a while since I read that. My son's not really into Dr. Seuss books. Um, his favorite book is Potty. That's his favorite book. And on top of that, he likes to read. It's Are You My Mommy? But that's not Dr. Seuss, is it? Maybe that one is Dr. Seuss. Are You My Mommy? It's about a little bird, I believe. That one is. Alabama. Okay. Cherokee, Scotch, Irish, Taurus, redhead, and only child. I could have a fight with myself and win. That's funny, Cement Shoes. Yeah, that's funny. Uh, if you can't, then please. Okay. I have freedom of nap time. Kiki. Good morning, Kiki. I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. Yeah, Chrissy, I totally understand where you're coming from, Chrissy. And good morning, Quill. Um, yeah, it's hard. And from your situation with what's going on, with the amount of people who have and how devastating this virus is to especially those who are around you, it's got to be hard, Chrissy. It really is. And there's no reason to apologize for anything at all. So oh, Kiki, I'm feeling about as this is about as good as I get. I haven't felt this good in a long time. Oh, I don't know what he said this or he or she said this time, but Oh, that's not true. Does everybody else see that? I didn't do that. It says that Maljabat was hidden by Full On Now. No, I wasn't. There's nothing for me to click on there. I didn't hide anybody. Maybe he got timed out so many times it hit him from the channel, but I didn't do it. I'm scrolling up here, and that message was. Oh, okay. His message was, he was timed out by the mods. I don't know what he said. Apparently, whoever you are, and I'm sorry, and I don't know if you're listening or not. If you just came in here to cause trouble, but apparently you're doing something. Either you're bringing the drama to the channel. If you want to talk and you want to be part of the conversation, and you can do it in a respectful manner, you're welcome to be here. Life is way too short to bring all this, garbage and put people down, be mean to people. You have to understand that. If you want to do that, fine. There are a million YouTube channels out there. Pick one of them. They would much rather have you there anyways, if that's what you want to do. I just don't need it here. And everybody who's in this community doesn't need it. So please understand that. You apologized once before, and you said you wanted to be on the good grace of the people in the community, but I just scrolled up and I see that you have not one, but 4 additional messages after that have been, the moderators have had to remove. I don't think you really care. So there's the door. What's that, cement shoes? Good morning, John. Oh, look who just got themselves a wrench. Gayla Denson, thank you. I like to think of it as, and the content, I try to make it as professional as possible, but the streams this is just me and my friends who are out here in the world, and I hope you are one of my friends. I at least I hope to become your friend, but I want everybody to get along. There is just, life is way too short for the negativity and the drama. It is. You're welcome. Wiser Matthew McConaughey. That's funny though. I like that. All right. Oh, I have a green screen. I just don't use it. This is just kind of like me and my living room almost. I mean, but it's a studio per se. I mean, it's just some place that's somewhat quieter for me to do my content. But I appreciate it, Tracy. Yeah. I'll never make this content, um, it's never going to be high polished or, high production value. And, and I had a lot of people, the naysayers who's, I get this comment quite a bit actually, is, there's like, well, you're only doing this story because, or, like, for example, they'll say, this on, if I do another Christopher Watts video, they'll say, you're only doing this because it drives views, and you're only doing this because it brings in subscribers. I average between 500 and 700 subscribers I have every single month. I've been doing this since I started it. This month, I haven't put out anything, except for what I want to do. And I always do it. And a lot of the content that I actually report on is driven by the community. What people have asked me here in the stream, and I write them down here in this notebook every week. I got my pen, I got my notebook. I write it down and what people want to talk about, what they ask about. In the comment section, I write down what people want to know about. And that's what I do the content on. I don't know why other channels don't do it. Why are you making this content if you don't want to listen to the community and the people who are enjoying and supporting your content? Do. Gets me. But cement shoes. Wanted to quickly comment on. I'm sorry about not giving you back your wrench. That was all on me. I meant to do it, but I forgot. And thank you for at least bringing it up, though. I mean, when I had all the moderators that I had before, I had a bad rogue in the group, and I had to find out who it was that was going around and timing people out and banning them from the stream. I won't mention her name, but I found out who it was. And she had a real problem with my sister. I haven't seen her today, but my sister back in, she'll pop in the stream every once in a while, and I never acknowledge her as, hey, look, there's my sister. She's not here, so don't look up and down the stream trying to find her. But when she does pop in the stream, she had a problem with my sister. So, and she didn't like something she said. And yeah, philosophically, my sister she's a great person. I love her to death. Me and her are completely polar opposites on politics and, a lot of issues in life. But we always agree that, to talk to each other, and we treat each other respectfully because that's just who we are. But she said something one time and it irked this moderator who's no longer around the wrong way. And she started, some issues in the back chat groups and, and everything else. And then it just got worse. And then she started timing her out every time she saw her. When somebody gets timed out in here, I can't see who it is until later on. But she had a huge problem with her. And then every time I kept on, welcoming, it's like, hey, look, there's one of my friends who are somebody would pop in the chat. She'd go after him. But that's why you love me. Thank you. Well, I hope that you love me because of, I'm down to earth. I'm a good person. And I treat everybody with the respect that I want to be treated with. And I think that we all should treat each other the same way. Just because, we're on, you may have different political beliefs than, the next person. That's what politics wants. They want us to be divided. They don't want us to work together. They don't want to see a Republican and a Democrat or an independent and a Republican. They don't want to see you get along. The longer they keep you divided and they keep you fighting on social media and in your lives, they feel that they won. And I don't talk about politics, and I try to keep it out of my life as much as possible. and I keep my beliefs to myself. When it comes to politics, it divides people, and that's and that they've made it that way on purpose. Bye, Deb. Oh, thank you, Jen. You're not the only one. Everybody is pretty much happy that I'm feeling better. I know I am for myself. My wife is happy that I'm finally feeling, better. What? You can't believe anyone would dislike Mel Mel or Cece? Who the hell doesn't like Mel Mel or Cece? I love them both. Cece and Mel Mel. If you're feeling down, I'm not kidding. Go to Mel Mel's channel and go back to her older content and watch it forward. If you can't bust a gut laughing by the time that you're done watching some of her older content or newer content, there's something seriously freaking wrong with you. Mel Mel is hilarious. It's like watching, if you like true crime, watch Scott Sharp over, a true crime loser. I mean, he throws that comedy in there, and it's just like, my Schmieda fam. To the bad mod. Oh, yeah. Well, Mel Mel cracks me up. Cece is a great woman. Great. And she does a terrific job. She doesn't think she does, though. I think she undersells herself a lot. There's a lot of good channels out there, and I hope to find more of them. Well, because I want to do live streams with more creators. Yeah. I have no problems with and a lot of see a lot of channels out there. They'll never say anything nice about another channel. I go out of my way to help other channels. And I'm helping 2 channels get up and running. The one lady, she doesn't want me to put her name out there or her channel name out there because she's not sure yet if she's going to be able to get along with this. And that's exactly how she put it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get along with this, making YouTube videos. So, but I've helped her so far. She started off with 0 subscribers and views, and she's up to 23 subscribers now. So she's doing good. At least I think she is. I mean, in under a week. But she's enjoying it, and I keep on telling her, look, there's no reason to do this unless you actually enjoy what you're doing. Do it only if you enjoy it. If this feels like a job to you, you shouldn't be doing it. If you don't like doing it, don't do it. I love the hell out of this, and I think it's amazing that that people. Sean Atwood, there's another good one. Sean Atwood's is good at good content as well. I'm sure I didn't miss anybody else. Yeah, but some people just fall out of love with it, and they lose the spark for it all. I'm just getting started. I mean, I've been at this now 16 months, something like that. It's a Crime. It's another good one. Yep. It's a Crime. I just actually found It's a Crime. So I use YouTube Channelytics, and It's a Crime. That if you have a true crime channel, put that in as your keyword. You can piggyback off of their success, I guess. but it came up as a keyword, and I'm like, who the hell is this? No, I don't have it around here. No, it's over there in the chair. I don't have any here, do I? No, but it comes up all the time. I think that whoever runs that, or somebody else who is has another channel, is using it as a keyword, is actually paying to for advertisement of their channel, and that is one of their keywords, along with minor murder. I'm like, who the heck are these people? That's an actual YouTube channel, by the way. They've changed their name, but that was the actual channel's name, Minor Murder. Like small murder. I don't know where they went, though. I know they changed their name because I was watching one of their videos, and then the next day when I went to go back to see if it could come up on my suggested list, it wasn't there. And then I put it in the search box, and now I can't find the channel. And I actually had it written down in my notebook at the time. Because I go through all my subscribers, and I try to watch all the channels. And yes, I have 22,000 plus subscribers right now, and I go through a lot of channels, and I'll go through and I'll find content that if I like it, if they're doing a good job, I think that somebody else might. I am not a big fan of cosmetics and tutorial makeup channels and reviews. But I do know quite a few women out there, and I do know people who like cosmetics and product reviews. And if I like it and I think it's good, I'll forward it to somebody else. From Delphi, Indiana. So the Delphi murders, Gayla Denson. She did one on the Delphi murders of Abby and Libby. Is it possible? Sure, there's ways to do it. I mean, there's people out there that pay to gain subscribers. There's websites where you can log on and you can buy subscribers, basically. I don't know why you'd want them, but people do it. People it's against YouTube's policies, and if they find out about it, they'll shut you the hell down. There are people who do sub for sub. It's basically, you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe to you, and they build their content, their channel up that way. Just because someone may have 1 million subscribers doesn't mean that they have anywhere near that in actual traffic. And I know of at least 3 channels that have like 1,400,000, 1,500,000 subscribers, and their watch hours, if you look at their watch hours per on a monthly 30-day basis, they're getting 200 hours of watch time, and that's it. Because every subscriber they have, they're all fake. Nobody's actually watching the content because nobody can find them. Whereas me, I'm averaging something like 380,000 hours of watch time a month. And I only have 22,000 subscribers. I have a huge amount of people who are not subscribers who are, it just comes up in their suggested list, so they watch it. I'm sorry for going on this tangent about channels, but I find it all interesting. And it's one of the reasons why I do this, because, I really enjoy the numbers and I really enjoy doing the content. It's like, right now on the upper corner there, it shows that there are 53 people in here, but I'm running Channelytics at the top corner. There's actually 74 people who are actually currently watching this stream. But YouTube doesn't count people who are not logged in who are watching. but you can actually track them through Channelynix. 55, 54, 55, 56. Golden one. I've been reading about the death of Casey Jones and the children's death by her husband, Michael. Wow, what a convoluted case. Just FYI, you would take a look. Golden one. If you go to my channel, I covered Michael Jones. It's Michael Jones Jr. I did a couple videos on him. I don't know if they're all still on the channel. Some of them have been listed for just my Patreon supporters. And I'm going to have to work on that one as well. My Patreon links, apparently when they switched over to their new system, some of their older links don't work anymore. It's really nice of them to tell me about that, though. I found that out the hard way when I clicked on the links on my Patreon. I'm like, in the community. And that's something a lot of people who are newer to Patreon, who have never been on Patreon before and supported a channel, they don't understand that there's a community tab. They only see what's on their actual dashboard, but you have to scroll up and there's a community tab. You click on that and that'll show you, what everybody's talking about and what everybody's actually, watching. Forensics, you saw them. You're newer to YouTube. Their childhoods were disaster. I didn't cover much about their childhoods. Golden one. I covered what Michael actually did. It's been a while. It has been a while since I covered him. Timothy Jones Jr. makes me throw up in my mouth. Sick monster. God, yeah. Yeah, Timothy Jones, and those two Joneses, not related at all, and that was back to back. Yeah, he is one sick SOB. Timothy Jones Jr. And for both for the children and Michael Jones Jr. and Timothy Jones, case, God is looking over them now. May they rest in peace. Those children did not deserve that. Mackenzie Marie, she started doing vids when she was 15. The youngster love her. That's cool. Blue Mermaid, to answer your question, in both cases, Michael Jones and Timothy Jones, they both killed all their children. I watched you for years before I subscribed. You are consistently dull and measured in your delivery. Thank you, Shelley. I appreciate it. This is just me. This is who I am. I have a lot of people, they have negative things to say about me. If they don't like me, fine. Yeah, Jen. Angry face. That was my fault, Kathy. That really was my fault. I had to find out who was doing, was going beyond what they needed to do. And it was definitely a personal issue with her. She admitted it later on. Also told me she'd never support my content again. She holds a grudge against me, and Now she's a moderator for another channel. That it's a long story, but sometimes people, you don't find out who they really are until you trust them. That's true in not just this, but in life. Some people, can really put on a really good facade, and then you find out later on that they've never had your best interest at heart. All they really wanted was the power, over you, or the power to do something, behind your back. That's life. We move on. So, yeah, Kathy. I'll probably eventually end up like one of my friends who has a stream. She does a stream twice a week, and I think she has like the maximum amount of wrenches that can possibly be handed out to people. I think she has. Um, there's got to be at least 30, 40 people out there with wrenches in her streams. I don't know what the maximum number is, if there is even a maximum number. But she's handed out wrenches to just about everybody. Liars and users. That is true, Miss Mick Jagger. Some channels wrench everyone. Yeah. Well, my friend does. She's given a wrench out to just about everybody. But I mean, people come into the stream, and as she gets to know them a little bit more, she just hands them out. She'll go into a stream and she'll start streaming. And she'll just like wrench. You've got color and picking up weight. Mike, unfortunately, I lost 17 pounds and I'm finding it all. I found it all. It's in the kitchen. It's right next to the Doritos on the shelf. I found it. It's right there. So yeah, I found the weight. It was hiding from me a little bit, but I found it. But thank you, Scott Reed. I moderate for. Do you? I love Scott's content. He did. I'll tell you something, Kathy. Since we're on this subject, so I like the way that Scott Reich breaks down legal terminology and explains things in a not an oversimplified way, but he explains it in a way that is easier to understand. Now, I have several friends who are are attorneys, and I have a friend who's actually a district court judge as well. But when I talk to them, or whenever you put two of them in the same room together, they speak in like a language that only they would understand. Where Scott, he has a really good delivery, and he seems to he puts it in a way that is very easy to understand, especially when it comes to like the legal terminology of certain words, like the Lori Vallow. I got a lot of questions, a lot of follow up, even after I put it in the description, what it meant that her bail hearing that was supposed to happen yesterday was vacated. A lot of people were asking me, what does that mean that it was vacated? Even though the description of the video says I broke it down what vacated means. Then I pinned the comment below there, on that video, it meant to vacate it. Scott's put it out, and maybe he just draws a different type of question than I do, but yeah, it's very easily answered. But I like his content though. You learn a lot, Jen, from Scott Reich. You can definitely learn a lot from him, but only if you have an open mind and you want to learn. That's what you have to do. You have to have an open mind to want to learn. So, I don't have pictures of myself on YouTube as I get lots of hate. Oh, I'm sorry, French kisses. Gotta learn to not let the hate get to you. Well, I know it's an old case, but I wonder if you think Casey Anthony. What do you think of Casey Anthony, Debbie? I think that Kathy Anthony, eventually, when she dies, she's going to face the ultimate judgment for what she has done. She is, to put this in the nicest way possible, without offending anyone, she is a disgusting human being. Yeah, well, she's writing a book too. Scott. Hmm. TCL and Reish. It would be heaven. I get a lot of people asking me if I'm ever going to do a collaboration or a live stream or something with Scott, Sharp, over at True Crime Loser, or um, I don't think that's ever going to happen. First off, it's impossible to ever get a hold of him, and I'm not going to bother him through his. I know how to get a hold of him, but I'm not going to. If he doesn't want people to bother him, then I'm not going to. I could get a hold of Scott Reich. That'd be easy. All I'd have to do is go down and see my sister. She's in the same city as him. And then I have another sister who's not too far away from. Well, yeah, she's probably a little bit of ways away from, but the other sister is. But I've got a sister who lives right there in the same city, where Scott is law office is. My sister actually took she drove by and took a video of where his office is. Um, and but that'd be easy to do one with him. But I don't think he'd be interested in it too much. There are some other channels that I'd love to do a collaboration with, but we'll see. Like today, I'm going to do a live stream with Miss Murder Australia. So I'm trying to, do more collaborations and videos with other creators, and I hope it helps Miss Murder's growth of her channel to get more people interested in what she's covering. What's going on down in Australia when it comes to homicides and disappearances and everything. So thank you, Deb. Oh, I don't remember in her piece, so I can't help. Maybe Kathy can answer that. Amber loves mystery. Not completely sure. I'm not sure why people get so mad at people like that. You don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Move on. When it comes to like doing collaborations and live streams and stuff like that, I get a lot of people, approach me and ask me to do them, but I don't do them. It's not because I don't like their content or I don't want to be on their channel. It's just I don't feel that in certain circumstances that the people who would be interested in what they're doing, it would be interested in what my take on it is. Some people just have a different delivery and a different way of doing things. I've been asked by a lot of channels who are not even into the true crime community because they see me and I'm a subscriber from my personal account, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you come on our car channel and talk about cars?" I mean, how many people in the true crime community on my channel who are subscribers would be interested in if I was to do a video, with a not a true crime channel, but a mechanic, and we sat around talking about compression ratios, on a V8. Not too many people would be interested in that. I'm sure I'm not saying that there wouldn't be any. I'm just saying that there wouldn't be as much. Thank you, Cement Shoes. In Australia, yeah, a lot of people are blaming them. Don't know what that's what don't know. And there's a lot of theories out there, a lot of speculation about what they may have done. I think Scott and Linda from It's a Crime might be doing a collaboration. Oh, that'd be cool. Deb, when it comes to the money that was meant for the children, for Lori Vallows, so the children receive a monthly um, stipend, I guess you could call it, from the Social Security Administration, for their death benefits from their father, from Charles Vallow. All right. JJ gets one from Charles. Tylee gets one from Joseph Ryan. So when I say that they both get one from the death of their father, they're two different fathers and they're both dead. But they both get the same benefits. Okay? So to be clear, I'm not confused with the fact that they're two different people, that are dead. But when it comes to Lori Vallow, getting and spending money that was meant for the children's benefit. Now, I looked into this quite a bit actually, and apparently my mother actually got these benefits from 81 until I think 87 for like 7 years for me. But I didn't know about it. Didn't ask. Wasn't my business. But the money, if she actually used it, the Social Security Administration, the federal government would have to be able to prove that the money that they sent her, that was deposited into Lori's account for the benefit and care and welfare of JJ and Tylee, they would have to prove that Lori wasn't spending any money to care for the children. And that's kind of hard because she could use her own money. Like, okay, I have, $800 in my account. I'll spend that. I'll send that off here to, whoever the hell has Tylee, for a month's worth of care for Tylee. And then 13 days later, a check comes in for $800 for Tylee. Maybe it wasn't from that actual money, that $800 from the Social Security Administration. That $800 came from her own account, and then it just, kind of replenished itself. They'd have to be able to prove that she hasn't done anything to actually care. Now, that obviously the state is able to prove it to some point because they've charged her with desertion and the other crimes that they've charged. Now, the federal government hasn't set forth any charges as of yet. But then again, there's a lot of things that are happening in the background they're just not telling us about. Where are the murder charges on her? Where's the investigation on that? We know of a leaked memo within the actual Chandler Police Department where they were looking into, we know that they were talking about where they're very close to filing charges against Lori in the death of Charles Vallow. What will they be charging her with? Murder, attempted murder, conspiracy to murder. We don't know which one of those three. It could be all three. We don't know. But we're going to find out here, I'm guessing pretty soon. So May 1st is when she's supposed to have her next bail hearing. The state of Idaho is getting freaking sick and tired of her, asking for a bail reduction. And I'm sure you can bet your last dollar on that they're going to bring that up at the next hearing. Her asking about another bail reduction. So, what do I think about it? I think that, though, when it comes to it, it's a very slippery slope. The federal government isn't going to spend their time and their money and their resources to prosecute her on a federal charge of misappropriation of the funds unless they can really prove that she hasn't done anything in any way to spend money or in other ways care for her children. So it's hard to prove, but they could prove it. And that's my timer, ladies and gentlemen. I have to go. So, sorry for rattling on there. I hope everybody enjoyed their time here this morning on the stream. Again, I'm doing a live stream later on today, 4 o'clock here on the west coast of the United States with Miss Murder, Australia. So I hope you can all join us for that. So, look at the time zones wise, for where you are. So, everyone, stay safe out there. Until next time. Oh, I appreciate it, Debbie. I do. You have a great day and stay safe out there. Bye, everyone. Be there or be square. Yeah. Listen to Dardine. Oh, hey there, Short and Ice. Where have you been hiding? I hadn't seen you. Hiding in the background, not saying anything at all. Well, I'm glad to know you're here, Short and Ice. You take care. Bye, Chrissy. Bye, everyone.